Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very welcome here to the Aula Maxima for a Monday lunchtime concert. Unusual, and very much appreciate you coming. I think you're in for a rare treat today. We're going to have a concert by Chao Yunying, who's here, a visiting scholar from Suzhou Institute of Science and Technology in China. She's been here now for the best part of 6 months. She's been researching Irish music, traditional Irish music instruments, the music of various composers, people like Micheál O'Sullivan, Sean O'Riordan, and indeed Alois Fleischmann. And in fact, while she's been here, she's been very, very busy enriching, I think, Cork, UCC, and particularly the music department with her wonderful piano practice, and I think enriching our classes, contributing to our classes, which she diligently attended. She's also been busy looking after her daughter's education, who's been studying here at Scolvera all the while. Xu Yen, I think she's here somewhere, and I'm sure I haven't pronounced that correctly. Ah, there we are. Hello. And indeed, Yunying has done a paper on one of the Fleischmann suites. Her idea is that she's going to take some of this music, some of this information back to China and introduce the ideas and the music to the people of Suzhou and indeed beyond. And today, on the other side of the coin, she's actually going to introduce us to some Chinese piano music, which has been a particular area of interest, a research interest for her for about the last decade or so. So I think you're in for, as I say, a rare treat. Also, while she's playing the pieces, before each one, she's going to give a spoken introduction and have a little bit of a display up here on the PowerPoint. I know she's been working extremely hard preparing for this concert, so it's very, very much appreciated that you've come here. I know she's made lots of friends during her time in Cork. She has this wonderful, endearing personality, friendly, and it'll be with a heavy heart that I say goodbye to her on Wednesday as she goes back to China with Xu Yen. Very much hope we'll see them here again at some future point. And of course we wish them all, and we wish her and her family all the best for the future. So I'm going to introduce her on stage. While she's been here, we've become very, very good friends, and I've witnessed her developing so quickly her spoken English, where she has become now completely able to communicate just about any topic in English. During that time, I managed just one Chinese sentence. So I'm going to attempt it now as part of my introduction. So after my Chinese sentence, you can hold your applause, and then I'll say it in English, and then you can applaud. So here goes. Li Juan, don't listen too carefully. 先生们、女士们、副教授乔云云来自广雅苏州。Associate Professor Chao Yunying from Suzhou in China. Please, let's give her a very, very warm welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Welcome to my concert. I'm Zhao Yunying. I'm Associate Professor of Suzhou University of Science and Technology in China. I've been here almost half a year as a visiting scholar. Before my concert, I'm very appreciate Professor Jonathan Stock. Without your invitation, I couldn't come here and enjoy the wonderful Irish culture. Also, thanks for the talent lecture Paul and John's kindly technical support for this concert. During these 6 months, I learned a lot from UCC. Especially, colleagues give me so many sweet help, such as Li Juan and Rhoda and Christine and Jillian and so on. So many people give me a warm in my heart. Thanks all. Thank you very much to everyone to come here. Before I come here, I was thinking about what music I could bring to UCC. After finding that, I think the Chinese traditional piano works is best choice. Because not only they present the Chinese culture, but also through a Western instrument, piano. So I think it's so introducing. So I want to share you what I think some important and effective points of my playing. Thank you. Okay. Before my playing, I introduce this piece I will play. And we're beginning from the first piece. It's Jasmine Flower Fantastic. It was written in 2003. The famous pianist and composer Chu Wanghua recomposed by Chinese folk tune Jasmine Flower. I think some foreign people can know this tone. Please firstly see the video of famous singer Song Zuying of China in Kennedy Center for the Arts of America. Please appreciate this melody. A little slowly. Hurry up. This tone is used by the Puccini's famous opera, Turandot. I think something know that. Please appreciate. Okay, I think this melody is very beautiful. What do you think?
And after that, let me talk about the song's origin. The folk song was very popular in the Qing dynasty, which is called Flower's Tone. The score was found it is recorded in the Gongchi notation by Zhujiang master in 1812. Next, I choose the two features of this piece to introduce: rubato and intercept rhythm. Intercept rhythm, there is different effective 6 parts in this piece. In the middle of the piece, give the pianist a chance to present their technical. Let me show this. There is no stable bite, different from Chopin's rubato. I think the Chinese piece is more free.
In the middle of this piece is rubato part of this piece. This the
rubato part of this piece. The next intercept rhythm at the same part, which give us a kind of imagination that the pictures fall down to the earth. Please see the score. In my performance, I try my best let right hand accompaniments had beautiful and balanced sound like this. And then please listen to my whole playing. Thank you. It was recomposed according to the famous Erhu composition by Chu Wanghua in 1977. The original work, wrote by a blind musician, Abing, who was a poor Erhu performer on the street. but he is outstanding erhu composer. Abing was born on August 17, 1893 in the eastern Chinese city of Wuxi. His father is Hua Qing, who was a Taoist priest. Abing's father was proficient in a number of Chinese instruments and Taoist religious music. In 1914, upon the death of his father, Abing took charge of the temple along with his cousin, however badly run operation at the temple. And an opium addiction drove Abing into poverty at the age of 34. He contracted syphilis and progressively lost sight in both his eyes. He became homeless and earned a living as an itinerant street performer. After his marriage, Abing performed every afternoon in a public square in Wuxi, became famous for incorporating topical issues into his music and songs, especially the war with Japan. After the performance, he would walk through the city streets, played erhu. This was a period of prolificacy for Abing, and his most famous composition like this piece. However, he died on December 4, 1950. He was buried in the graveyard of the temple where he was born. He composed some famous erhu works such as this piece. Please listen to the same name erhu work, which was performed by Song Fei. Okay. Because the time is limited. After that, let's see the introduction about erhu. The erhu is a two-stringed bird musical instrument, more specifically a spike fiddle, which may also be called a southern fiddle, and sometimes known in the Western world as a Chinese violin or a Chinese two-string fiddle. It is used as a solo instrument as well as in small ensembles and large orchestra. Picture showing the bow here in between the two strings. I think Erhu sound is a little sad and more legato, so I want to give the listener a deep sense of little symphonic sound and feeling between piano and Erhu. Except that I think how to do with the melody dialogue is an important way to a good performance. Let's see from the sheet example from the beginning of this piece. We can know there is like a dialogue in two hands. The right hand is a main melody. The left hand is like answer. The melody always is clear no matter where, and because it's like a dialogue, so I must play legato. I think the piece presents Abin's sad life, like above introduction. Inside it, we can feel a kind of sadness and rebellion spirit. Please hear that. Okay, last one is called Music and Sunset, which is very famous pipa music in the old time, but it was wrote orchestra music in 1920s. This piece was composed by Li Yinghai in 1975, which imaginates a picture the sunset from the big mountain and the river flow from it in a beautiful painting. A Chinese orchestra is based on the structure and principles of a Western symphony orchestra, but using Chinese instruments, which involve placket string, bow string, section wind, and percussion. Let us listen to the band one. This is solo instrument pipa. This is 古筝. This is a shell, Chinese traditional instrument. Okay, now I think the piano version is a dominant point. It copied different Chinese instrument sound, involve pipa, zheng, gu, xiao, etc. Here I can talk about these Chinese traditional instruments simply. The first picture is pipa. The pipa is a four-string Chinese musical instrument belonging to the placket category of instruments, sometimes called a Chinese lute. The instrument has a pear-shaped wooden body with a varying number of frets ranging from 12 to 26. A second picture is guzheng, also known as Chinese zither. It's a Chinese traditional placket music string instrument with over 2,500 years of known history. It has 16 strings and movable braids. The modern guzheng usually has 21 strings with a length of 6.4 inches. Other components often are made from other woods, usually for structural and decorative purpose. Performers playing the guzheng often wear finger picks on the right hand or on both hands. The picks can be made of different materials, such as ivory, tortoise shell, or hard plastic. The third picture is gu. It's a Chinese frame drum that, when struck by one or two small bamboo sticks, creates a sharp, dry sound essential to the aesthetics of Chinese opera. Striking the drum different places produce different sounds. It is also used in many Chinese temple music ensembles. The percussion section is very important in Chinese opera. The gu player is the director or conductor of the orchestra. He works with other members of percussion section to create the right mood for the audience and actors on stage. The last picture is showing the Chinese vertical and blow flute. It's generally made of bamboo. It is also sometimes called dongxiao, dong meaning the hole, an ancient name for the xiao in shuzhudi. But name xiao in ancient times also include the side-blown bamboo flute. The xiao is a very ancient Chinese instrument, usually thought to have developed from a simple end-blown flute used by Chang people of southern China in ancient period. Last lecture, the Chang people play the xiao. And then we can sound copy this instrument on piano. In the end, wish you enjoying my performance of this piece. This piece, the beginning is the copy the gu and the pipa. And pipa. Next, the right hand is copy the xiao. Please listen to my whole playing of this piece. you.